Hey everyone. I want to talk to you today about some research that I'm studying about video games, but also some other relevant applications that aren't just related to video games in particular. And so again, I'm in this. I know this is going to be backwards, but I'm in this Super Better book. It's called Super Better by Jane McGonigal. Awesome book. Highly recommend it. She's a video game designer, and she has created an awesome protocol for turning the adversity and challenges of your life into a game and getting a lot out of it. This is actually one of the models that I use to run groups with people. Really super awesome and effective. But I myself have even written articles in the past about the dangers of video games, video game addiction, and they're real, they're prevalent. I've seen people have become so addicted to video games that they literally have withdrawal symptoms as if they were addicted to a physiological drug, and they actually have to detox from playing video games. I've seen it, and so that side of it, I know that to be true, but I'm also going to talk about a different side of it today. And Jane says, I've literally read hundreds of scientific papers on this topic. Many of them convincingly argue that playing games will make you more depressed, anxious, and socially isolated. But many more just as convincingly argue that playing games frequently will make you happier, healthier, and more ambitious with stronger social support to boot. So, which one is it? Well, it all depends on a popular term called mindset, the reasons why you play. And it comes down to this question. Do you play to escape life, or do you play to make real life better? Do you play to escape real life, or do you play as a complement to improve real life? This is the differential motivation as to whether or not game playing, or, and this is the part that I wanted to add to it, any activity that we do as a coping mechanism, if we are using coping mechanisms to escape life, they are going to lead to more depression, anxiety, and isolation. If we use coping mechanisms to learn something new, to enjoy something, to spend time with someone, to boost our energy, to have a sense of pleasure in our life, to gain a sense of purpose and meaning, then they are going to give us all these positive benefits that we're hoping for. So, an escapist approach to play really does increase depression, worsen social isolation, and make you less likely to achieve real life goals. According to Jane here, she says, if you play with purpose, with a positive goal such as spending quality time with friends and family, learning something new, energizing yourself after a long day, you are much more likely to bring gameful ways of thinking and acting into everyday contexts. You're not playing to avoid problems, you're playing to bring benefit. Okay? This type of purposeful play builds self-confidence and real-world problem-solving skills. More important, it has the opposite impact of escapism. It helps you to be happier, better connected, and more successful in real life. You simply have to stop thinking of games as a distraction from real life and start thinking of them as a source of genuine strengths, skills, and power. And then she goes on to talk about suppression. While suppression is anytime we're kind of avoiding or pushing away or not dealing with or not experiencing some stress or trauma in the moment, okay? And there can be positive sides and negative sides. But suppression, she talks about the difference between suppression and self-suppression and self-expansion. While self-suppression works in the short term, leading to a temporary improvement in mood and well-being, it hurts us in the long term. Every time we succeed in feeling better by escaping reality, we become less likely to face our stress or challenges in the future. We reinforce the idea that the fastest way to feel better is to avoid rather than to engage. Over time, self-suppression actually diminishes our sense of self-efficacy and control over our lives. We no longer see ourselves as people who can effectively solve our own problems. However, when we practice self-expanding activities, even if that means checking out from real life for a little while by doing something like playing a video game or watching a movie or reading a book or something like that, when our motivation is to self-expand, on the other hand, you're trying to promote positive thoughts, feelings, and experiences. You're actively creating something good in your life. You focus on what you want more of and not what you want less of. That's a huge sentence. You focus on what you want more of and not what you want less of. Self-expansive activity looks exactly like self-suppressive activity. Reading a book for an hour, going for a 5-mile run, playing a video game all afternoon. You can't tell whether someone is self-suppressing or self-expanding just by looking at what they're doing or how much time they spend doing it. You can find out only by asking about their motivation and their mindset. If someone has a negative motivation, I don't want to deal with anyone right now, or I just don't want to think about it, they're self-suppressing. If they have a positive motivation like learning something new, improving a skill, achieving a goal, re-energizing, having fun, strengthening a relationship, they're self-expanding. Self-expansive activity is a healthy and positive coping mechanism, even though it also includes ignoring real life for a while. That's because when you self-expand, you build confidence and self-efficacy. So it boils down to how players think about what they're doing. If they feel powerful and proactive, then their gameplay is self-expansive. If they think I have the ability to control how I feel right now, or I have the power to influence whether I suffer traumatic flashbacks, they have a positive motivation. For example, she references some really awesome studies that people with PTSD, PTSD often is involved with flashbacks, images. And so if we do something that involves the visual cortex and the motor cortex, so we play a game like Tetris, there's really good studies that playing a game like Tetris for 5 minutes can stop a flashback experience because you're activating the same parts of the brain but in a different way. So if someone is doing that with that positive motivation, that intention to gain a skill, to gain power, then that is going to be useful for them. They're building self-efficacy. But if they're simply seeking refuge, I can't deal and this game is my escape, then they are indeed self-suppressing. By playing with a self-suppressive mindset, they diminish their own capacity to solve problems and improve their lives. So get out there, enjoy, play, gamify your life, do things that are healthy and positive, even if that means I need to set aside work for right now. I'm going to go for a run, but you're doing it to become healthy, to become strong. You're not escaping. You're not avoiding. You're not denying. You're recharging. And it's the differences is in the mindset. The differences is in how you approach it. The differences is all in your intention. Enjoy. Love you all. Have a great day.